Today our topic is object class. So object class is the parent class. All other classes are subclasses of object. Object is a superclass of all other classes. Okay. So object can refer to any array. Object defines the following methods. So object is the superclass in Java. Object have the following methods. Object clone. Object clone, in the last section we saw about object cloning. Okay, it creates a new object that is same as the object being cloned. So just copying the object. Boolean equals of object. So here they are telling the method's name. Here they are telling the description of the method. Okay, in this column. Okay, next method present in the object class. So now we are seeing the class. That class name is object, predefined class object. That objects contains the methods, the following methods. Boolean equals, void finalize, class, question mark get class. So these are all the methods. Here they are giving the explanation. The Boolean equals of object space object means Boolean data types is used to return true or false value. Okay, if the condition is true means it will give the result true. If the condition is false means it will return the false value. So determine whether one object is equal to other. It will go to check whether one object is equal to another. If it is equal means it returns true. If the object is not same, both objects not same means it will return false value. So void finalize method. Next method is void finalize method. So this method called before an unused object is recycled. The garbage collection. In the first unit we saw about the garbage collection. Garbage collection is the features available in Java. It is used to remove the objects which are not used for the long period. Okay, you just recall the garbage collection. So that particular unused objects are removed before removing the unused objects or before recycling the unused objects. We are calling them void finalize method. So this void finalize methods will go to finalize whether we will go to remove the particular object or not. Okay, void finalize. So next method is class less than question mark greater than symbol get class. So if you see the less than and greater than symbol in Java means it is represented the generic parameter. Okay, generic parameter type. In this generic parameter data type we are passing the data type generic data parameters. Okay, so class question mark get class of method. So this class is used for obtains the class of an object at runtime. Obtains the class of an object at runtime. At runtime, it will obtain the class of an object. Okay. So get class. Easily you can remember. Easily you can keep in your mind. Get class. Get class is the method is used to obtain the class of an object at runtime. Okay. Next method. So these are all the methods. Now we are seeing the methods which are all present inside the object class. Okay, so you know very well packages in Java. Packages contains group of classes. Group of classes contains objects. That object contains variables and method. So now our topic is object. Object is one of the major class or superclass in Java. Okay, so that particular object class contains the following method. Next it have the method int hash code of. Int is the method data type. So method type integer, so it will return the value at the end of the function. If the method here the method data type is void, it will not return any value at the end of the function. Here the data type of method is integer, so it will return any value at the end of the function or method. Okay, functions, method or operations, these are all the same thing only. Okay, variables or field, attributes, these are all same thing. So hash code is the method which is used for the integer, in the integer object. So it will return the hash code, some code, okay, some value, integer value associated with the invoking object. Invoking means calling object, okay. So it returns, see here we are using the integer data type, so that it should return some value at the end of the method, so it returns the hash code value, some value, okay, like integer value, maybe value means 55, 66, these are all the values. So values, hash code values associated with the invoking object, invoking calling object, okay. So void notify, next method is void notify. So void is the method data type, it will not return any value at the end of the function. Notify is the method name. This method is used for resume execution of a thread waiting on the invoking object, okay. So if any thread means job, otherwise maybe a method or constructor, any work, if we declaring any variables means that is also one thread, okay, one thread in the application program. If we are creating object means that also one of the thread in our application program. So thread means job, okay. So if maybe one job or one thread is passed for sometimes means this void notify method is used to resume that particular thread again, okay, waiting on the invoking object. If any thread or any job is waiting on an invoking object means this void notify method will go to resume the execution of thread, okay. It will start the thread again, to do. Void notify all. So here method type is void. Void data type means it will not return any value at the end of the method. Functions. So here method or functions or operations name is notify all. The purpose of notify all method is resumes execution of all the threads waiting on the invoking object. But all, okay, it execute all the threads waiting, but it execute a thread, okay. Yeah, difference. See the difference between notify and notify all. Notify is used to resume. Maybe that particular job is passed for sometimes, so that particular past job or thread is going to resume, okay, is going to resume. In here notify all means the past of all the threads will go to resume, okay. Next method is string to string, okay. String is the class, to string we will go by using the to string method, we will go to convert the string. So returns a string that describes the object, okay. It will return the string value that describes the object. Void wait, next method is void wait. Void is the method type, so it is not return any value at the end of the method. Waits on another thread of execution. So some jobs or some threads are waits till another thread completed, okay. Thread means any job in the application program. If we create one class means this is also one of the thread, okay. Here in the class we are creating the circle one extend from the shape, so this is one of the thread, okay. Thread means job, this is one of the thread. We are creating a new class. Here void draw off, this is one of the thread. Because in this thread we are defining the method draw, okay. So each and every statements are one thread. So void wait means one thread is waiting for the another thread execution. Void wait, within the open bracket and close bracket we are passing the parameter. Parameter is milliseconds. The parameter milliseconds is passed in the data type of long, okay, long data type. So long milliseconds, long is the data type. It will accept the long value data. Integer is the data type. In this integer data type we are taking the variable nanosecond or variable or parameters. We are passing the parameters to the wait method, okay. So now till now we are seen about the methods and the purpose of methods, which are all the methods present inside the object class. Okay, so don't confuse it. See, in Java, string is considered as a class. In some places, string is considered as a object. Okay, so like that only. Objects in some places objects considered as a classes. Okay. Next topic is abstract class. A class that is declared with the abstract keyword. Okay. So we are creating a new class. That class is declared with the abstract keyword is known as abstract class in Java. Okay. It can have abstract or non-abstract method. It may be have the abstract methods or non-abstract methods within the body. Abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation detail and showing only functionality to the user. It hiding the implementation. In the implementation part, we will implement the definition of the method. Okay. In the implementation section, we will define the method definition. So, but in abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation. So, method definitions will not be available in the abstraction. Only method declarations only available in the abstraction part. Okay, it can without it cannot be instantiated. It needs to extended and it needs to extend and its methods implemented. Extend. Just to recall, extend is the keyword is used to inherit new class from the existing class. So, whatever the methods or classes present in the keyword of abstract means that methods will go to extended. Okay, or otherwise implemented. Have to implement it. That particular abstract methods have to extended or implemented. We'll see the example. That then you can understand clearly. See the example, abstract class. Abstract is the keyword. Okay. So in the last section, we saw about the final keyword, final variables, final method, final class. Like that only. Today we are seeing about the abstract keyword. Okay. So abstract keyword, before class A, we are mentioning the abstract. So this is known as abstract class. Okay. Class A is defined with the keyword of abstract. So this class A may be contain the abstract method or may not be contain the abstract method. Okay, the method is that is not mandatory. The method should be in a abstract data. Okay, a method that is declared as abstract and does not have implementation is known as an abstract method. So here semicolon is available. Abstract keyword. Okay, we are using the abstract keyword. Next, method type is void. Void means it will not return any value at the end of the function. Method name is print status. Okay, method name is print status. Open bracket, close bracket. After open bracket and close bracket, we are putting the semicolon. Semicolon means it is function declaration. Okay, here we are not define the method body. This method don't have body in the abstraction section. So we should implement or extend. Okay, we should implement or extend this abstract method in the following classes. See, in this example, shape is the abstract class. Implementation provided by the rectangle and circle. Okay, we'll see the next example. In this example, abstract is the keyword. That keyword have the class name is shape. Our class name is shape. This is the we will go to define the class shape. Within the open curly brace, we are defining the method abstract void draw method. So in the first statement of abstract classes, we see one point. The abstract classes may contain the abstract method or may not contain the abstract method. So this abstract class contain the abstract method. Okay, this abstract class contain the abstract method. Maybe it may be don't have the abstract method. That is not a problem. Okay, so abstract method. Void is the method type. Draw is the method name. here semicolon, you are seeing the semicolon, so that it is known as method declaration. In the abstract class, the method should be declared. So it hiding the information. Okay, it hiding the information. So the draw method should be defined in the subclasses by using the keyword extend. Otherwise, it should be implemented. Implemented means it will go to the topic interface. Okay, single inheritance, multi-level inheritance means it will comes under the keyword extend. If we go to the multiple inheritance means we have to use the keyword implement. Okay, so these abstract methods may be defined by the extend keywords are implemented. Here they are not implementing. Maybe in the next example they use the implementation method. Okay, by using the extend keyword, so extend, what is the purpose of extend keyword? It will go to derive a subclass from the superclass. Our superclass is shape, so subclass is circle 1. In this circle 1, we are defining the void draw method. Okay, defining means it draw method have the body of the method. Draw is the method, it have its body in itself. Okay, the body of the draw method is otherwise the definition of the draw method is here they are mentioning system.out.println, within the double quotation they are mentioned drawing circle. Okay, so this is the definition of the draw method. But in the abstract class, they didn't mention the definition of the draw method. They are declaring semicolon. They didn't tell what the functions will be done by the draw. But in the subclass, by using the extend keyword, they are mentioning what is the functions will be done by the draw method. This is function definition. Okay. Okay, so whenever we are using the abstract keyword means it is hiding the information. Okay, it just declaring the method. It will define the method in the super inheritance features or interface features. Otherwise, it is defining the method by using the extend keyword or implement keyword. Okay, so class, next our class is class name is test abstraction 1. This is our main method. In this main method only our program will be started. Shape is the class, S is the object. By using the new operator keyword, we will go to allocate the memory for the object. Circle 1 is the constructor, because circle 1 is also same as the class name of circle 1. So this is the constructor. Next, S dot show. By using the object, we are calling the method draw. S dot draw. This is the syntax for the calling method or invoking method. Okay, in the theory papers materials, they are mentioning it as a invoking. So otherwise calling, invoking means calling. Okay, S dot. By using the syntax S dot draw, open bracket close bracket, we are calling the method draw. We are calling the method, where it is draw, here we are calling this method draw. Okay, then this draw method will be executing. So our output is drawing circle. Whatever the within the double quotation, we are having the drawing circle. So that drawing circle is our output. Okay, example 2. Here also they are using extend keyword only. Extend keyword. Okay, abstract is the keyword. Okay, in the abstract keyword we are defining a new class. Syntax is class name. Our class name is bike, because user defined. The bike is the class name. That class is user defined class. Within the open curly brace and close curly brace, we will go to define the body of the class. So this abstract class having the method bike off. See, method or this is the constructor. Okay, because it have the same name of the class name. So bike open bracket close bracket, it is the constructor, but it don't have the keyword abstract. See the difference. The abstract class may contain the abstract method or constructor, otherwise may not contain the abstract methods or constructor. So these abstract class bike contain non-abstract constructor. Okay, non-abstract constructor. So before the bike we didn't mention the keyword abstract. Okay. So that we are defining the methods now itself. So method or constructor, the body of the constructor is present here only. If we use the before the bike abstract keyword means we should not define the bike constructors here. Okay, we should use the semicolon. Declarations only we can do here, but now before the bike constructor we don't mention the abstract keyword, so we are defining the method now itself. What is the definition of bike constructor? The bike constructors will go to display bike is created by using the system.out.println. System is the class, out is the object, println is the method. By using this statement within the double quotation, bike is created statement is there. So that particular statement will be our output. Okay, so in our output bike is created is displayed. So next, in the abstract class we are having the, so one example is enough I think. Okay, so in our second exercise, abstract void run. So next we are having one method name is run, but this run is we are taking in the abstract keyword format. So abstract, we are using the abstract keyword means it will hide the definition. It will hide the definition. It will only declare the method. So by using the semicolon, we are declaring the method. Okay, it will hide the informations. Otherwise, it will hide the body of the method. Otherwise, it will hide the definition of the method. We will define the method by using the extend keyword or implementation. Okay, by using extend or by using implementation method, we will go to define the method or constructor present inside the abstract class or abstract keyword methods. So next we are having another one method, void change gear. See the difference? Change gear is the method. It don't have the keyword abstract, so that we can define the method now itself. Here they are defining the method, or they are giving the body of the method. So change gear is the method. It will go to do the work. What is the work means? It will go to display the gear changed. It will display the message gear changed. Okay, gear changed. By using the system.out.println, it will go to display the gear changed. Okay, before that we are having the abstract void run semicolon. Okay, so this void run method will go to explain by the extend keyword. See, class name is Honda. This is the subclass or child class. It is derived by the bike. Bike is the superclass or parent class. So by using the extend keyword, we are doing the inheritance features in Java. So here void run. Void is the function type. It will not return any value at the end of the function. Run is the function or method name. Okay, so this is in the keyword of abstract. So now here we are defining the method run. The definition of the run method is it will display the output as running safely statement on the running output page. Okay, it will display running safely by using the system.out.println method. So next class, test abstraction. Another one class we are having. This is our main class because main method is present inside the test abstractions too. So we have to save this program in the name of test abstraction 2. Okay, this example having many class name, Honda class name and bike class name, but we have to save this program in the name of test abstraction 2.java. Why? Because means the main method present inside the class of test abstraction 2. Okay, so here public static void main bike is the class. For that we are creating the object obj is equal to new Honda. By using the new operator keyword, you are creating the allocations or creating a new object. Okay, object dot run, we are calling object dot run, object dot change gear, but we are not calling the method object dot run, object dot change gear. By using this object, we are calling the run and change char method. Okay students, this is the abstract class. Can also used to provide some implementation of the interface. Okay, in the above two examples, we are seen about the extend keyword. Okay, and now in the third example, we will go to see about the implementation interface. That is interface. By using the interface, we will go to define the abstract class methods. See interface. Interface name is A. Interface name is A. So by using open curly brace, we will go to define the interface. And here we are closing the curly brace. So closing, we are opening. This is the body of the interface. Body of the interface or definition for the interface. In the definition of the interface, we are declaring the methods. Void A, void B, void C, D. These are all the methods. 4 methods we are declaring. Okay, we are declaring in the interface A. Next, abstract class. We will come to the abstract class. The class name is B. Implements class A. Next, public void C. Void C is the method. This method definitions. Okay. In the interface, we declared all the method. Already we have seen in the interface topic. In the interface part, we should declare the methods. We should not define the method. Okay, that is the rule. You keep in your mind. In the interface section part, we can't define the methods. We can only declare the method. Okay, so we are declaring the methods A, B, C, D. That methods will go to defined in the implementation section. So public void C. Here we are implementing the method C. Method name is C. Okay, method name is C. By using the open curly brace and close curly brace, we are enclosing the definition of the method C. The definition of the method C is system.out.println. It will go to display the output on the display screen. What will be the output means within the double quotation we are having IMC. Those are the IMC. IMC is our output. Okay, IMC is our output. It will be displayed on our screen. Next, class name is M. It extends B. So extends we already seen now. In the above two examples we seen about the extend topic only. So this is the implementation. This is the implementation of abstract class. Abstract class can also be used to provide some implementation of the interface. So the void C methods declared in the interface. That void C is implemented in the abstract class. In the abstract class B. Okay, that's enough. Again and again I am repeating everything. So now our topic over. Abstract class. So abstract class contains maybe abstract methods or not abstract methods. That abstract classes or abstract methods can be defined by the use of extend keyword or implementation method. By both methods, we are using two methods. By using extend method and by using implements method, we will go to define the abstract methods. Okay. So next our topic interface we have seen already. Nested inner class. Inner classes means one class which is a member of another class. Okay. So nested inner class. Nested means within the single one class we will have the another class. C class name is outer. We are opening the curly brace. But before closing the outer class, we are having another one class. Another one class name is inner. Okay. Within the outer class, we are having the inner class. That is known as nested inner class. Nested if loop means within the if loop, we are having another if loop. Nested if else means within one if else statement, we will have another if else statement. Nested for loop means within one for loop, we are having the another one for loop. That is nested for loop. Like that. In nested inner class means within the one single class we are having the another inner class before closing that outer class. Okay. Next topic is method local inner class. So method inner class inner class contains method. See the example class name is outer. We are opening the curly brace. Here we are having the method outer method. Okay. So outer method opening, we are opening the method. The method definition is, this is not a declaration. See, I am telling the difference. Method declaration is different from the method definition. Okay, here they are giving the definition. Outer method definition. So definition of outer method is system.out.println. It will go to display the inside outer method statement on our output screen. Next, before closing the outer class, we are having the inner class. That class name is inner. It have one method, inner method. Okay, void inner method. So this method definition is system.out.println. It will go to display the statement inside inner method. Inside inner method, inside outer method. These are all the output. Output will be display on our output screen. So inner is the inner class. Object y is the object present inside the inner class is equal to new inner of. By using y inner method, object dot method. This we are calling the inner method. Okay, we are calling the inner method. So now we are closing class. Our main class is present in the main method. Okay, main class is present in the main method. So this is our main class method demo. It contain the outer class. So outer class, here x is the object. Outer class contain the object x. This x object is created or located by using the new keyword, new outer constructor. Okay. By using this x, we are calling the method outer.method. So by using this y object, we are calling inner method. By using the outer object x, we are calling the outer method. So the inner methods is not in the main class. So inner methods objects are present inside the class outer. Okay, see the difference. The inner method are present. Inner method objects are present or created in the outer class. So method local inner class. Okay, method local inner class. This is the local method of inner class. Static nested class. Next topic is static nested class. Static nested classes are technically an inner class. Now, there are like a static member of outer class. You know very well, whenever we are using the static means without any object creations, it will automatically instantiated. For that purpose only we are using the static keyword. See, static void outer means no need to create the object. Okay. See our example. So our topic is static nested classes. Okay. Class name is outer. We are defining the class by using the open curly brace. Private means it will be, these particular methods will be visible only within the class. Okay, it will not be visible to all other classes. So private is the access specifier. So it can be, particular method can be visible within the classes only. So private, static is the keyword, void is the method type, outer method name is outer method. Now we are defining the outer method here. The definition of outer method is system.out.println. It will go to display the inside outer method. It will go to display. The next is static inner class. Static class name is inner. Okay. So we are defining the class in the keyword of static. So public static void main outer method of system.out.println. By using this statement, we will go to display the statement inside inner class method in the output screen. Inside inner class method. So static, so no need to create the object for this inner class. Okay. Without any object creation, this statement will be run. Static, the keyword is used to instantiate the method or method without creating any object. Okay. So static class inner. This class contains the body of the statement. This body of the statement will automatically run without any object creation. So this is the outer method. We are calling the outer method. Outer method is here. Outer method without any object creation. Without any object creation, we are calling the outer method. So that is the use of the static keyword. No need to create object. No need to create object. Without any object creation, we can instantiate the methods. Okay. So that's why we are using the in the void main method. We are using the keyword static. In our all the examples in all our application program, we are using the static keyword in the void main. Why? Because means the void main is the first statement will go to compile in our application program. So this is the first statement. So without any object creation, that particular statement have to run or compile. For that purpose only, we are using the static keyword in the main method. Okay. In the main method, we are using the static keyword for that purpose only. Without any object creation, that particular method have to initiate the process. Okay. So that is the main importance use of the static keyword. Without any object creation, that particular methods will be run or compile. Okay. Next topic is anonymous inner classes. Anonymous inner classes. Anonymous inner classes are declared without any name at all. They are created in two ways. So as subclass of specified type. Anonymous inner class. Subclass of specified type. Class name is demo. See at next class name is flavor1 demo. This is the anonymous inner classes. Class name is demo. Without using the keyword extend to inherit the for the inheritance properties, we use the keyword extension that you know. But without using the keyword extension, we are creating a new class. That's the same name of demo, flavor1 demo. Okay. The anonymous inner class. I am in show method of Suba. I am in flavor1 demo class. Two class, demo and flavor1 demo. Here demo acts as a superclass and anonymous class acts as a subclass. See, subclass, whenever we are seeing the superclass and the subclass concept means, till now I am telling about the keyword extend. We should use the keyword extend to derive the subclass from the superclass. Like that I am telling again and again. But now we are deriving a subclass from the superclass, but without the keyword extend. Without using the keyword extend, we are deriving a subclass, flavor1 demo subclass from the superclass demo. Okay, this is the anonymous inner classes. This is the use of the anonymous inner classes. Without the keyword extend, we are deriving a subclass from the superclass. We have two classes, demo, flavor1 demo. Here demo act as a superclass. Demo is looking like a superclass. The anonymous class is flavor1 demo. It is acting as a subclass. Okay. Both classes have the method show. Both classes have the method show. So void show is the same method name. Show is the method name. Same method. We know that whatever the features, whatever the methods the parents having, that methods can be used by the child class. That you know very well. Okay. Whatever the parent class have the having the methods, that particular methods or variables can be used by the child class. So here we are using the same thing only. Show is the method which is present in the superclass, and also show is the method it is present in the subclass also. But we never used the inheritance concept, extend keyword here. So this is the anonymous inner classes. Okay. In anonymous class, show of method is overridden. So overridden. If the method is overridden means superclass method will be hidden. So to access the superclass method, we should use the keyword super.show. Okay. To access in the child class also we are using the show method. In the parent class also we are using the show method. So whenever we are running the show method which is present in the child class, at that time it will hide the method show present in the parent class. So to access the parent class method show, we should use the keyword super. By using this keyword super dot show, we are calling the show method present in the super class or parent class. Okay, that's enough. Anonymous inner classes. Next, we are implementing it by two methods. Next method is as implementer of the specified interfaces. Okay, so class name is flavor2 demo. Class name is flavor2 demo. This is have the hello method, public void show method. In the void main method also we are having the show method. Okay, show method. So this is the implementation. Class flavor2 demo. Static hello is the class. Hello is the class where we are having here. Hello is the class. We don't have the hello class. Just they are giving the important parts only. They didn't tell about the hello class. They didn't write the code for the hello class. Okay, they didn't write the code for the hello class. Okay, so hello is the class. We are implementing say anonymous class, an anonymous class that implements hello interface. Hello is the interface. Okay, they didn't write the code for the hello interface in this example. So hello is the interface. By using this interface, we are deriving the class flavor2 demo. Okay, flavor2 demo. So interface means in the interface, what we have to do? In the interface, we should declare the method only. We can't define the method. Okay, so that's why the hello interface should have the method declaration part. That method declarations should be defined here. Should be defined in the class flavor2 demo. See here our void show method is defined here. So hello interface should have the method declaration part. That declaration method will go to defined here in the class flavor2 demo. That is anonymous class. This is the anonymous class. It is derived from the hello interface. Okay. Okay students, see you in next class. Thank you.